We have a new expose on this channel against Rishi Sunak with new revelations showing that when he was in Treasury, he tried his best to stop extra funding for the police to keep us and our country safe. Oh dear God. So, I don't care on this channel. I always say we hold everybody to account, whether you're left wing or right wing or conservative or pseudo conservative or socialist. We would actually do it. We don't care about partisanship. This is about the safety of the country and security and stability. So, Rishi Sunak, at the time when we were having a lot of problems, there was a short period of time in 2019, especially between 2015 and 2019, we had a number of attacks. This was a scene from London Bridge. On the London Bridge, the incident that we had and the nutters who tried to harm our people. At the same time, same period, there was a big debate among the intelligence community, among the Met and the various departments and Home Office to ask for proper funding for the police to sort out the security of this nation. Common sense, makes sense. Now, who was the guy in charge at the time in Treasury to actually deal with these problems? We had the Chancellor, but the Chief Secretary to the Treasury was at the time Rishi Sunak. Yes, so Rishi Sunak, who now wants to become our next Prime Minister, or Her Majesty's Prime Minister, was slightly reluctant and tried his best to fight against funding. So he was kind of like in favor of defund the police, I guess. That's a joke. But Rishi was reticent to provide our specialist police with the necessary resources. That was about £90 million, which actually is nothing when it comes to the budget of the country, especially at the time when we had money. They needed to support them. He had to be overruled by Boris Johnson as Prime Minister to ensure that they maintain appropriate funding. Now, during the same period, we had the London Bridge issue. We had all the other threats against us. And this is now coming out against him. Of course, it's coming out now, and his opponents used it to keep it quiet for now, and then now they're revealing it. That's just dirty politics. We know that's just how politics works, unfortunately, but we have to know the truth. I don't care why it's coming out. I just care that it's out. We need to know the truth about these problems. Now, a former government minister from the cabinet actually come out to say that we've consistently seen Rishi Sunak get the big judgment calls wrong consistently. He talks a good game, but doesn't actually deliver when it really matters. I mean, that is a good point, because all the ideas that Rishi Sunak has delivered came from number 10 anyway. So everything from furlough to all the freebies, the free cash that they were throwing around during lockdown. Because Dominic Cummings merged number 10 and number 11, it was under the umbrella of number 10 Downing Street. It was Dominic Cummings' regime. It was Boris Johnson and his people who were obviously creating these policies and getting the HMRC and the Treasury to actually implement them. So now Rishi Sunak is taking credit for all of them, just like how he took credit for the invention and the idea of free ports, even though, I mean, we had the ancient Greece and the Rome who actually did those things at the time, and even medieval times and post those days and Renaissance days, that we had free ports being created. We actually had free ports as an idea in the 1980s, and they gave the idea to Margaret Thatcher. But apparently, Rishi Sunak said, "Nah, it was my idea. I did it. I'm the architect. Give me credit." Oh, well, we're not going to let you get away with these lies. This issue with the funding of the police is a big problem right now, because I never thought that we live in a society in the West, in the 21st century, where the basic responsibility of the state would be questioned, which is to keep us safe. Internal security and external security, which means the police and defense. That's the primary role of the state. Now, if you're then left wing or right wing, then you can add new things to it. You could add the safety net, you could add the NHS, high taxes, and free stuff, and lollipops, and unicorns, and helping everybody, right? But both sides always agreed that the police and defense should exist under the umbrella of the government and the state, because that's the primary role. Now, with the lefties going around saying defund the police, that's one problem. Then if you have so-called conservatives fighting against funding the police, I mean, who do we have to rely on? Who do we trust? That's what we shouldn't. We shouldn't rely on politicians and the state to run our lives. That's what we have to fight against the system. We have to actually give real people power, not this rhetoric and the pseudo populism nonsense that politicians give us every election to give us power, but they don't really do it in the name of the government. But we are going to do it. We are going to fight against globalism on this channel. The movement that we've created and when we are creating Build Back Britain is going to grow. More people have joined the channel over the last few weeks than ever before. So thank you so much for everybody who have supported us. You could also get your own We Are The Media or Build Back Britain t-shirt in the description box as well. We're going to keep you guys up to date with everything going on here. But in half an hour, I'm going to come back, tell you what on earth is happening in Florida with President Trump. So subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi and we are the media.